All right, let's connect it up here. What's going on? November 3rd, can't believe it. Whoa. Wait for it to connect and go through and all that stuff. So today, I'm back. Last Sunday, I wasn't here. I was in Oregon, or Oregon, however you want to say it. But yeah, guys, so I'm back to talk about, hold on, let me do this. Let me do that. All right, there we go. I had to mess with that for a second. Sorry about that. So I'm back. Sorry. Yep. So I was there and I was gone and now I'm back. So hopefully you guys be back in here. So I'm happy to be back this Sunday. I was gone last Sunday. So I want to go and talk about the Walking Dead, obviously, stuff and a bunch of other things going around. So hopefully you guys, if you've seen the episode, you watched it and thought it was good, funny, bad. I don't know how you think it, but I thought it was very good. I will talk about the episode, probably the last half hour. We'll do some spoilers, but so pretty cool stuff. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I had to stop and start the stream, so I apologize for that. But spoiler warning, obviously, for The Walking Dead Season 10 as a whole, the comic show, all that stuff, and some spinoffs, however you want to say it there. So thank you guys for joining me today, November 3rd. It's crazy to think that it's November already. This year is flying by. When The Walking Dead's on TV, it feels like the summer is so slow because it's not on, but The Walking Dead being on makes the year go by super fast. And it's only, 16 weeks a season. That's crazy to think about it. And we got 52 weeks in a year. So it's like, man, what do we do for all this other time? So it's kind of crazy to talk about it a little bit here. So thank you guys for joining me this Sunday and every Sunday. I missed it, you guys, last Sunday for sure. I did not miss the trolls and the haters, that's for sure. But I was in Las Vegas and I was in Oregon. And it was one of those things where it was a crazy thing that we booked so far earlier in the year, some hotel stays, some things on there too. It's like, man, and then it came out of nowhere and we were already in Walking Dead time. So we're like, oh man, I'm going to miss some things. But I watched the episode. I thought it was very good last week's episode. And I think all the episodes so far have been really good. It was one of those things where The Walking Dead Season 10 is picking up where Season 9 had the momentum and brought the series back, in my opinion. Season 10 is good in a lot of different ways. It's one of those things where it's doing its own thing, but copying the comics, or I should say, bringing the show. I shouldn't say copying, because it's one of those things that, the show is the show and the comic is the comic, and people love to joke about that on our channel, but it really is different stuff. I mean, the show has to do its own thing for financial things, story-driven, actually practicality of making things happen on the show. So it's one of those things that I really enjoy talking about it, and I don't know why this just stopped there, but it says stream complete. So I think that, okay, we're catching back up here. Sorry, there's a delay with my streaming service thing and the YouTube, so it's kind of crazy for that. But I had, no, Mark, I didn't win big in Vegas. I didn't really gamble at all, actually. My wife gambled a little bit. She won a little bit and then lost it. But, we don't really gamble that much. I was there to see the O show at the Bellagio. I was there to take my wife to Las Vegas because she was never there. And it was crazy. It was packed. It was so packed in the Bellagio around town. There were so many people, so much just chaos going around. And if you follow me on Instagram at the PT channel and Twitter and Facebook, I shared some photos of it, and I shared a picture of a brochure type pamphlet thing of a zombie burlesque show. We did not go see it. We did not see it. It was one of those things where like, what is this, right? So I don't know if anybody's ever seen it or what they are, but we did do a bus tour, took us around town, got to see a bunch of cool things, some sights, and it was pretty cool. It was just under 3 hours, but it was definitely one of those things where I'm like, man, I definitely enjoyed the vacation. I'm glad I got to get away. We got to cooler weather. If anybody has ever seen the show Little People, Big World, we went to the roll-off farm in Helvetia, Oregon, and it was awesome. It did not disappoint. It was one of those cool things. So thank you, Rob K, for the super chat. Sup, Bri and PT Peeps. Thank you, Rob K. You didn't have to do that, but it's always welcome. So if you want to, have a super chat, viewer activity, pretty cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. You don't have to, but it's always welcome because the proceeds come back to the channel, so we can continue on doing this for a while too. So I have some video of my vacation in Oregon and Las Vegas and everything there, and I have to put it on the computer and do it all up. But it's Walking Dead season. It's Walking Dead time, right? It's one of those things where I have to love to talk about The Walking Dead. And so we got episode 5 tonight, or Friday, however you think about it, but tonight. And then we got 6, 7, 8, and we're going to be out of this season by November 24th. So we're going to have all of December with no Walking Dead. Probably all of January, no Walking Dead. And, statistically, it comes back every February. So February is when The Walking Dead will probably return for season 10, episode 9 through 16. So it's one of those things that it's just going to suck when it's gone, but we're enjoying it, and it's going to be crazy too. So I'm excited to talk about the season 10, episode 5. I'll talk about that in the last half hour of the live stream. But the first half, let's talk about last week's episode. So if we remember it correctly, and it was good. The tree fell down in Hilltop, and it made a sound. People were around. People got injured. People got one of those things where is it up to them? Is it up to the Whispers? Were they doing that, right? The Whispers were definitely involved. I was excited to see what was going to happen in the episode, and it was a good episode. I thought that it was definitely an entertaining episode. It was one of those things that I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, setting things up. It was a good setup things. Magna, the character, they're definitely doing some different things for Magna on the show. I don't really know the Magna character that much in the comics. Like, I know she was with Yumiko, and it was her group, and it was this, and she was kind of a good fighter, and she kind of was involved with a lot of the things. But I don't remember her doing some of the things that they're doing on the show with her. Is it a mistake? Is it something that they're just doing because it opens up different avenues for other characters, or does it help her or hurt her character on the show? I don't know. It remains to be seen. But the whole thing with Margot and Lydia and Gage, they're like, Gage is such a punk. Like, if he went away, I thought Addie was the best out of that group of kids from Hilltop, and they killed her off last season. So we're like, all right, great, But Gage is like a punk. He's one of those guys where he's like, yeah, I got a bunch of people around him, so he's like a tough guy that way. But, he's a wuss. He's a wimp. He's a coward. He's a person that he is a guy that is going to be annoying on the show, I think. And I just wonder what's going to happen with that character going forward, because we know some of the stories from, it's kind of crazy there too. Hold on, let's get rid of this person. Just be more original. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the trolling a little bit there too. But, I don't come to people's channels and go to your work site or contact you or text you and say, why do you do this and why do you do that? Just be better. Just be that. What's the point of that? Just, be yourself. And I give you the spoiler warning. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine too. So, Maria, do you want to see Terminator Dark Fate? I'm sorry, I'll give you a warning. It's not good at all. Oh, man. So I want to see the Terminator movie, but I don't want to see a bad Terminator movie. I want to see a good one, and it's kind of crappy that you're saying it's not good, but I want to see it. I'll probably wait for a red box or something. I don't know that. But, I booked my tickets actually for Star Wars. We're going to see it that first weekend that it comes out, and I'm excited for that. Episode 9 looks pretty cool too. So that's always fun to have some things to look forward to. And it's pretty great. I know it's, yeah. But, let's just get rid of this person here because they're not really going to bring anything there too. They're just here to cause problems, too. Like, I did not miss that at all. Like, I was just thinking about it. I did not miss any of the haters. I did not miss any of the people that were just saying that it's you or this and you do that and you suck and all that other stuff, right? Like, who wants to hear that? Nobody, right? But the people that did like my photos and watch when I was away, I love the support. I loved it when I was there too. So when I was away, I got some more ideas for my Fight For Us series, for some spinoffs, for some different things too. And I'm like, man, this place would be an awesome spot for a story, and this would be pretty cool too. So it would be awesome to carry things forward. And I'm always thinking about everything in my life, and I don't know if other writers do this or what, but I always like the idea of being involved with certain things in my own life that I can bring to the stories that I write too. If you read the Fight For Us stories, that Ryan is the portrayal of a fictional character, the hero of most of the story. He's not always the hero, but, he's kind of the main guy. And I kind of see myself as him in that fictional fate there too. And it makes me easier to write it there too. So it's pretty great. So I'm thinking that I'm going to continue on with the story. Despite the haters, despite the trolls, despite all the people disliking our other channel videos for no apparent reason on there as well. But it's just kind of crazy for it. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. But the Walking Dead series and spinoffs and movies and all that stuff, it seems to be they have a plan next year for a lot of the Walking Dead franchise throughout the year. I think they said something like it's going to be on for 40 weeks. I guess 40 Sundays or Fridays if they do the premiere stuff. 40 episodes of Walking Dead stuff out of like 52 weeks. That's crazy. So you'll be down like 12 weeks of the year without new Walking Dead content. So that probably is Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, the spinoff show. And I don't know what's up with the movies, but I'm excited to see. And that's an early estimate. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of crazy to think if we're going to have so much Walking Dead. And if you like Fear the Walking Dead or not, it does fill the void somewhat, even though I kind of wish it was better in a lot of aspects. I have high hopes for the third spinoff show. And of course, The Walking Dead, I think, is, killing it, man. I think it's a great thing, and it's back, man. I'm super excited for the spinoff stuff and the continuation of the story because I think it's pretty cool. So, Smilebird 9, I have seen episode 5. I'm going to talk about it in the last half hour of it, and I definitely thought it was a great episode. Some people are like, it's a big cliffhanger ending. Well, not really. I mean, to me, cliffhanger episodes aren't bad if we get it next week, or even if we get it into the mid-season finale. If it's the season finale, like episode 16, and you got to wait all summer before getting the answer, like a season 7, episode 1, basically, that's a little rough, but it's all right. It's not a big deal, It's one of those things that as long as it gets answered, I'm okay with it, I don't have to have instant gratification, and we're an instant gratification society, right? I need this now. I need the answers. I need that. And it's like, well, let's build it up a little bit. If they want it done right, take our time. And I know I bought into that and it got my story going because when I was writing Fight for Us, I definitely wanted to write the story and the story and the next story and the next chapter and the next book and the next thing and the next. And the editing took a hit. And people just can't get past that. People can't say that it's this and it's all that stuff, even though it's been improved and drastically changed. And I was like, man, I bought into the hype and bought into the pressure of it. And I want to deliver every time too. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people today is that they want to keep it going and hit these milestones and these mile markers and, hit these big achievements in their life at a very young age because certain people are doing it. And sometimes you need to step back and take a deep breath, So let's all take a deep breath and just breathe, right? So my first prequel book, I have 6 chapters left to edit. And then I'm going to get the proof. And then it should be available. So it should be available by the end of this month, right around, hopefully before the Thanksgiving. That's my goal. When I have it available, I will definitely let you know. I'll make a video about it. I will have it on the other channel. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to that channel as well too. And let me also make the point here of subscriptions and people getting booted and unsubscribing from the PT channel. Well, I have no control of that too. I have not done anything to like kick someone off and stop them from being a subscriber. Now, when you block people from commenting, I don't know what happens with them, but I don't think they stop their subscription. I think they just can't post things on there. And some people will give me a hard time about it, and you do this and you do that. And there's probably a whole group somewhere saying bad mouth stuff about me. But I have zero tolerance for that when people come and attack me. When people attack people here. And it's not like, oh, you think that happens? You're stupid. No. When people say that you're this or you're that and insulting me and cursing at me and other people on there too and vulgar stuff, you're gone. Get out of here. When stuff's unnecessary, you're gone. Get out of here. You don't, freedom of speech is there too, but it's also we have the right to block, delete, edit, and just get people out of here. It's not necessary to have people insulted all the time. Also, people are telling me more and more and more that they have been unsubscribed. They're like, where did that channel go? And when I mentioned that in several videos, they're like, oh, wait, I was unsubscribed. and they didn't unsubscribe themselves, right? So you're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy to think what is going to happen with all these subscriptions or these people subscribe to the channel and they haven't just watched all these things. And it's like, whoa, they just missed out on all these videos. And people were like, wow, they had several videos that they missed because they were unsubscribed for weeks, if not months, which is terrible. So make sure you're a subscriber. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. We have, 85,200 and some. So we're getting there, guys. I'm super excited. I'm glad that we hit the 85,000 mark. We just need 15,000 more. And that's like such a big number. But it's like not a big number because we're like right there. Hopefully we'll get to 90,000 this year. And then we can hopefully hit 10,000 next year and we'll hit our 100,000 mark. And why does that matter? It doesn't really matter. But it does because you get a silver play button to display for the channel. And it does validate the channel here and there. Now, some channels have way less than us, and some channels have way more. I mean, there's channels that have hundreds of thousands of millions, and I don't know. There's channels out there that have like 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 50 million subscribers, and some of those are businesses like UFC and AMC and WWE. It's all that crazy stuff too, right? So it's kind of crazy to hit that mark. So I'm glad you asked. iPro has any special plans for 100K. When we do, we're going to do a quiz for it, and we might just be having a fun quiz, and then I may take a random name and give a gift card out, maybe 2. I don't know. I would love to do that, and I want to give back to everybody here too. I want to give back to the subscribers that have been here for a long time, and also the new subscribers too. It's kind of cool to think about what's going to happen with the future of the channel and the future of things, and I love the idea that it's just being connected to this family and this community. That's what it's all about, doing things with the right kind of people on there too. And maybe I would have more subscribers if I didn't block people and have zero tolerance for it. It's just kind of crazy. And it's one of those things where that people have more subscribers than me, and that's all right. And people have less than me too. And I'm not trying to hold myself against other channels, but you got to be a little competitive with things too, when people are saying this channel's that and this channel's this and this channel's great and your channel's this and so on. Okay, but we're a Walking Dead channel family community here in YouTube. Like I don't have problems with other channels until people say something bad about me or disrespect me or try to clown me or try to throw shade at me. Well, all right, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not going to bring it unless I need to stand up for myself. And that's what I think people should do too. Like I don't go looking for trouble. Some people do, but you got to stand up for yourself if trouble finds you. And, that's one of those things where today is people just look to fight, look to have an argument, especially online, right? So many people can hide keyboard warriors that they just can be in some other state so far away and then just say stuff to people that, and get away with it. You could be outside the country and you could be like, ha ha ha, you're this, you're that, see ya. Have fun with that. And then the person's stewing over it like, I can't believe they said that. And you're like, whatever. You just got to let things go. I know it's easier said than done. It's for sure one of those things where I'm like, oh, man. And it's just crazy when, and last week's rant on here too, is that it's crazy to think that I have, when I make a video, and it's a video review or whatever on there too, and you get hundreds and hundreds of likes and everything as well. And you do it for the likes, you don't do it for the haters. But then there's always like those 13 dislikes and those 28 or 30 dislikes or whatever. And you're like, why is somebody disliking the video? And there's other people that are liking it. What's there too? Is the person have like 10 accounts and they dislike it on different accounts? I don't know. But it's just crazy. So either way, Talking Dead is back. It's definitely one of those things where, that's funny. But it's one of those things where Talking Dead is back, and it's been great. I thought it was great. The guests were really cool. Last week's episode was pretty funny. And has anybody ever played? Do you guys play the quiz? The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 quiz? Do you play it? And I got really close a couple times, but I didn't win. And I just want to win that quiz so bad. And it's tough to get the answers right, but also get them right in the right answer quickly. It's one of those things where you got to tap the answer quickly. And I've never gotten close. And I wonder if anybody's ever won or played on there too. It's a fun thing. There are 3 questions, and it's one of those things where you can get, I think, probably 1,000 points per question. So you probably can get 3,000 points as the highest. But it's just kind of crazy it's one of those things that it's a fun thing to talk about. And Talking Dead is a way to get some information out of it too. I'm excited for the Talking Dead tonight. It's Angel Theory, Eleanor Matsuura, and the guy who plays Taserface on he's been on their show before on Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And last week's episode was really good. The guy who plays Badger on Breaking Bad was hilarious. And some of those people they're just hilarious how they just talk, and they bring up some great things, but it's definitely one of those things that's pretty cool as well. So, here, Mr. Large, I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, or I don't mean to do this, or you got to be kidding me, right? Pretty hilarious. So, yeah, right. But it's funny, one of those things is like, I'm not just going to talk about The Talking Dead or Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead or all that stuff. I'm going to talk about things that I want to talk about. I'm going to be doing more reviews on here and also on the channel as well. So I try to divide it up on both things. But I think people that are hating on here just hate on my universe of Fight For Us. So it's kind of crazy. So Shauna Chan, just wondering, do you think the main group would survive the Resident Evil universe? Well, that's crazy to think about. Well, are we talking about the Resident Evil video games or the movies or both? Because I like the idea that I think Daryl Dixon would survive, because Daryl's like a superhero. And if you're talking about Alice, and if you're talking about, Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield and those characters like that, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Or Stars teams, like the first Resident Evil. But I think some of the characters would definitely survive. But the main group, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Rick, they would definitely survive. They're like superheroes. They're our main superheroes. They've been around here for a long time. It's one of those things where I think it's one of those definitely favorite characters of the show would survive the Resident Evil universe. But that's a great question. That's a great point. And I'm hoping that the Resident Evil stuff continues on. I'm excited for the future of the Walking Dead franchise in every form. And I feel like there needs to be like a really good open world zombie game that it's one of those things that it would be pretty cool to have just a really good video game connected with this universe. The Walking Dead, and I don't know, Telltale games on there. I just don't know. So that's pretty cool. Yenzi Rosario, Q&A, do you think Alpha will live longer on the show than she does in the comics? Well, that's debatable, because the show is kind of jumping around. So the comics are issue 148, 152, 153. It's like it goes in order for each thing, blah, blah, blah. And the show has jumped around. Rick's not there. Certain characters are there. So it's debatable how you want to see it, but I think it's around the same story point of that her run on the show and the comics will be similar. You'll see some stuff that's come out. We talked about it in a bunch of videos, and some different information about the spoilers and potential spoilers that are going around. And so I think what happens is that the show is going to do major big events, like the Pike lineup, like the Negan lineup, like the whole thing, probably what's going to happen with Negan potentially in the Whispers and Beta in there too. And I really want to see Beta and Negan fight. That's really want to see. There's certain things that I want to see happen for sure, because I want big moments to happen, and it's entertainment. And I'm a Walking Dead comic fan, but I don't think it has to be exactly the same, so. Rob K, great question. Who's interested in Death Stranding? For those who don't know, that is the video game that Norman Reedus stars in. It's by Hideo Kojima, I believe. And is it out already? I know it's coming out. I don't know. But I don't know. I might have to rent that just to check it out. And I'm excited for Last of Us 2, that actually got moved to, May now, I believe, too. So, yeah. Abunya Kanu at the BT channel. I checked your Fight For Us page. Why are there so many thumbs downs on the latest video installment? Greetings from Argentina. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know why there would be so many dislikes for that. I just think it's disgruntled people from this channel and this area here. They go there. They dislike it. They don't post any mean comments because they'll get blocked from it. And so I think they're just going there to vent their frustrations for some reason. But That's the way it is. That's the way it goes too. So, Isabel Hernandez, I'm a new subscriber. Really like this live Q&A. Can't wait for tonight's episode. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. So, is this your first time with the Q&A in the live stream? So, if you are, thank you. Welcome to be here. I'm glad you're here to check it out too. So, Timothy Fairley, relax with the episode 6 stuff and stop telling people to call you on certain numbers on there too. That's going to be a thing that just stop what you're doing, Don't try to spoil episode 6. Some people haven't even seen episode 5 yet on there too. Relax, man. Calm it down. This is not just like, I want to spoil everything in this world right here now. No, relax. Calm it down, please. Smilebird9 at the PT channel. Do you think Aaron becomes a whisperer? Is that why he becomes bald? And he said before, I'm tired of being nice. So Smilebird9, I think you're referencing the bald aspect from his Instagram, and I believe that was for the Avengers Endgame when he played Red Skull potentially, and I think it was old. I think he's not actually going to be bald on the show. I think that it's pretty fun to think that he could be a whisperer, but I don't see him becoming a whisperer and going against Alexandria. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think him and Gamma are potentially going to have some sort of connection that can help the show, help the story, something could happen there too, because we'll talk about that in the last half hour, but I don't think he joins the Whisperers like that too. If he does, he could be playing sides and he can never truly become a Whisperer, and maybe I think he has a connection with Gamma. Jonathan Meza, thank you for the donation. Very cool. Man, I have been trying to donate on my main YouTube account, but deletes all my comments and won't let me send a super chat for some reason. So I made a new one to do it. P.S. Joker was a great film. Thank you, Jonathan. Yes, I thought Joker, I had my review of Joker, and I didn't think it was a great film in the review, but I thought it was a very good film, just because I don't think it's a bad film by any means, but I thought Joker was very entertaining. It was just a different take on the character, and it was almost like, it was interesting. It felt like the real aspect. I mean, it's a superhero, supervillain story arc there too in Gotham and everything, but it was crazy to think of like all the over craziness, over the top Marvel movies on there too, and then Joker comes along and you're like, this could really happen. This guy could really do some of these things, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that way too, but it was a different take on the character, and it was really cool in there as well. So thank you, Jonathan, for that. I appreciate you on there. I don't know what's up with YouTube sometimes. I know some people I can't reply to some of their comments. I don't know if they're out of the country or where they're at or what's going on with some there too. But thank you, Jonathan Meza. I don't know what happened with the other channel on there as well, but I'm glad to have you here, and thank you for the donation. It's always welcome on there. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. So, man, we're killing it today with the viewer activity. That's good stuff. And it's always much needed, much improved, and much thankful for it too. It's kind of crazy. So I'm thinking that it was pretty interesting to have everybody here. I'm excited to talk about, The Walking Dead for a long time. I love to talk about everything and zombie related stuff, and then just survival as well too. So, man, let's see what it's saying. James is sticking up from here. Books, don't copy Walking Dead, buy one and read it and you will know that. So yeah, exactly. So it's kind of crazy. So Merle Dixon, is your books copying Walking Dead? Why make a copy? Let's see. No! No. Why make a copy? Exactly. I'm not going to copy that. One, I have respect for Robert Kirkman, the Walking Dead franchise, the Walking Dead show, the Walking Dead comics, the Walking Dead stories, everything in writing. I would not go and just copy them. Now, Robert Kirkman and The Walking Dead and Romero and all these people and World War Z and Z Nation and Myrtle and all these people, they don't own the zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse is a fictional setting. They do not own that too. I would have a problem if someone just stole my story and took it and ran with it, right? It's not the same. Merle Dixon, check it out or don't. It's just crazy to think about too. So it's ridiculous. So I'm not copying anything there. Just go read the books or don't read them. That's it. It's just ridiculous on there too. I would not plagiarize anything of another work of art on there as well. It's on there too. So Kang Aradero, where are you at? Sorry, I just had to stick up for myself and my series right there. Sorry to read your questions. There you go. Q&A. Aaron's being acting like Comic Dwight since the season started. You think he could go on that route? You know how it ends for him at the Commonwealth. Well, the Commonwealth is such a far story arc on the show that it's going to be different. it's going to be probably, I think that my, I guess, theory, speculation, whatever you want to call it, is that the Commonwealth be for the show. The Rick movies, the Rick story is just going to be for that. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen with Aaron. I do think Aaron will be connected with the Commonwealth. I think Yumiko will be connected with the Commonwealth. I think that potentially characters, Eugene for sure. It just makes sense that certain characters on the show will be connected with the Commonwealth on the show if it makes it that far. And I don't think the show is going to stop anytime soon. We got greenlit season 11. And where does it go from there? Does the Commonwealth get introduced in season 11? I still think that season 12 of The Walking Dead is the last season. It just makes sense for me. If they want to go past that, great, but I just want the story to be great. But that's a great question. Janet, Q&A, Brian, any prediction for Carol's story arc? I don't know, because I had a feeling that she's going to not let the whole aspect of Alpha go until Alpha goes away permanently, that she's not going to let it stop. She's not going to let it be there too. She's going to look out for Lydia. She's going to look out for her people. She's going to just, her main purpose is to take Alpha out. And she's not going to stop to that. I don't know what's going to happen with the caffeine pills or her sleeping or not sleeping on there too. I don't think she can sleep well ever unless she takes out Alpha and the Whispers and she knows they're gone. So we'll have to see what happens with that. It's interesting to see her story arc. And I love Carol. I love Melissa McBride. I think she's essential to the show. And it's interesting because people don't give her props. So Raj, SFM, Q&A, do you think Dante could be a Whisper? Potentially, could be, anything can happen, but I don't think so. I don't think that he was, if he was a medic, a field medic in the Iraqi war, or in Iraq, or however you want to say it, in Iraq, he's a military guy. You know, he honors the United States and the way things are run on here too. I would assume so. You never know. Some, maybe certain people in the military don't, but you never know. But I would assume that if he was in the military, they're going to have this code and this way about them that he's going to stick with the team and help and work things out. And I just don't see him being part of the Whisperers. It just wouldn't make sense. I mean, everybody wants to have a spy. They thought Enid was a spy. They think Dante's a spy. They just think that the spy angle is good. This isn't Mission Impossible, and this isn't James Bond. It's a zombie apocalypse stuff. We had our spy. It was the Whitey boy. And so I think that was the only spy. But it's a good question. I know why people could see it. It definitely makes sense to have that idea, but it just doesn't fit in my eyes. Yeah, that's for sure. James, ever think of making audiobooks for people that hate reading? I definitely have, and I definitely like that idea of it because I've had more and more people asking me about the audiobooks. And it's difficult. It's difficult to write a book and get it published and do all that stuff too, but it's really difficult to have audiobooks because you have to have it in a format to send it to a company to have it there too. And I believe Audible, however you want to say it, is the big company or one of the big companies. And I think you can do it through an Amazon company there too. And I would love to do it, but I just want to make sure it's done right. I've learned my lesson with the books. I know some people don't, and some people are going to be bitter for that for the rest of their lives. And it's just going to be one of those things where it's just one of those ridiculous things as well too. So, all right, Merle. Sorry, brother, but yeah, you think you haven't read anything. If you're saying that too, if you think it's this, so hold on, let me just do some cleaning up in here. Let me get the dustpan that real quick. So it's just ridiculous. Go read the books, Merle, and all the other haters. Go read the books or don't, and don't talk about them unless you do. So let me see what you got. JT, I don't have time to read books. I think book reading has decreased drastically along with newspapers since everyone has a smartphone these days. Well, not really. A lot of people read books, not paper books. They can read them on their smartphones, on their Kindle, on their digital books. A lot of people read Kindles and digital books on there too, and the books are on digital. So you can read paperback and digital versions of the whole series. And I want to do, sorry, James, I want to have audiobooks, but I want to do it right and I want to look into it. But it's just tough, man, when you I have a career, I have a house, I have a cat, I was on vacation, I got a wife, I got all this stuff, I got all YouTube and, everything here. I just would love, if I was a full-time writer, a full-time YouTuber, I would definitely have an audiobook, if not audiobooks, for sure. And, you can hire people and you can do all this, but it's one of those things where if you hire all these other people, they go into your profits, into your things there too. It's just one of those things that it's just tough because I'm an independent person. I don't have a company. I don't have a publication company. I don't have some big company that's producing all this stuff too. So I would love to have that. I would love to be picked up and have, help. But, as an independent person, you got to do it all. And I'm not making excuses. It's just the real deal. And I want it to be done right. That's all. But yeah, the plan for 2020 and beyond is to have audiobooks, spin-offs, more stuff, some art, some good stuff coming in the hopper there too. So I'm definitely excited to have a bunch of things going for the series and for everything. So definitely check it out, man. Yeah. Julia, that's me, Brian. I have kids and work full time, so I really can only listen. That's why I'd love to. I think I would be able to hit the market more if I had the first book for it. And I'm contemplating having it, a little thing and have it narrated by me on YouTube and maybe have like the first quarter of the first book to show people what it's all about on there too, but not give it totally away and give a little taste and draw people in so then people can, because people, here's what I decided to, I've understood, I guess not, come to the realization of that. People don't want to help other people unless it benefits them. Not everybody, not you guys, that's in here. It's mutual respect and mutual love and admiration. But for the bulk of people, what are they going to get out of it, right? If they're going to put time and buy a book, they really be all about it on there too. If they're going to support you in a way that's going to buy something, whether it's a t-shirt, a hat, merchandise, books, video games, whatever it is, media, they really be involved. They rather be involved. They really enjoy it there too, because YouTube is free, right? It's not free. You got to pay, for the internet, Wi-Fi and internet and stuff, or Spectrum, or whoever you got to pay for that. But you go on YouTube, boop, 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 and you put stuff in and you watch videos for free. You watch ads, right? But there's stuff that you want to buy a book, you got to use money. People don't want to do that. Bulk of people want to do that too, and I understand that, but people got a lot to say when they're not supporting stuff or even trying it, but people always have opinions, right? So on YouTube, I think I can reach a bigger audience, and I need to have a teaser. I need to have a big thing so to show the people that it's so different. They're like, oh, well, he likes The Walking Dead and the zombie apocalypse genre, and he's writing a zombie apocalypse story. It's got to be the same, right? Wrong. It just doesn't have to be anything involved whatsoever. The story isn't that. It's just crazy too, right? So Ray Quinlan, do you think Rick will ever come back? Maybe end of the TV. I don't think he comes back to the TV series unless it's the last episode of the series, the final series finale too. So it's kind of crazy on there as well. So interesting too. So really not worth the money on paperback. That's my advice. They're just not well written. Sorry, but I enjoy YouTube. So see, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. The first 3 books, so you're missing out, bro. If you haven't watched or read the books 4 through 10, it's greatly improved. Touch button. So that's the type of person that gives up on it, and that's okay. And that's all right. If you don't want to continue reading the story, you don't have to. But they're not worth it. The paperbacks are $10.99. The Kindle, first book's 99 cents. That's, pretty cheap. Then the next one, I think next couple are $1.99, and next one are $2.99 too. So if you think about it, right? If you're going to buy the Robert Kirkman Walking Dead, Charlie Adlard comics, if you're going to buy all that stuff, those comic books were, I think, $2.99, $3.99 right there too. And they're about 20 to 30 pages. If you're going to buy my Kindle book, you're going to get it for 99 cents or $1.99 or $2.99 or $3.99, right? You're going to get a 200-page book. Well, it's more than that because it's a smaller thing, but it's a 200-page paperback for the same price of a 20-page comic. So you could do that, but that's all right. You don't have to keep reading. That's all good. But you gave up on a story, so stop talking about it. But it's greatly improved. The first 3 books are the same thing of the editing fiasco with it on there as well. But, books 4 through 10 are greatly improved. I guess that person is missing out. That's faux show. But season 10, episode 5, Walking Dead. So it's a lot Negan. It's not only about Negan. I guess we'll say spoiler warning. Season 10, episode 5, and the series as a whole, and comics, all that stuff. Spoiler warning. So it's a good episode. It starts off with Kelly in the woods by herself. She was with Oscar and a couple other people hunting and tracking stuff, but she went out on her own, and she went out on her own to, I guess, kill the boar, the hog, the pig, whatever you want to call it. And she left. So then she can't really hear by herself. So she's having a trouble with the hearing. She kills the boar, and there's walkers that come get her. And the walkers eat the boar, so then they don't get it. And you're like, man, come on, that could have fed, so many people. But Kelly gets in trouble, and she's, in the woods still. Daryl and Sadiq come from Alexandria to Hilltop to check on some things and to be there too. And so they go there. Sadiq is definitely sick. So, he's sick. He's got PTSD. But, what's his name? Ezekiel is sick. Ezekiel thinks he has thyroid cancer. We don't know if he has thyroid cancer. There's no way to tell if he has thyroid cancer. There's no blood test. There's no imaging. There's no things that can really do that. I guess they have, ultrasound and certain things they can view it. But it's definitely something that I don't know if the Walking Dead is going to explore Ezekiel's thyroid cancer, because he has a growth on his neck. He definitely has a growth on his neck. But he had his grandmother and his father who had thyroid cancer, and they were able to win and fight it, and thyroid cancer has a 98% success rate, which is great. But this is the zombie apocalypse. This is in real life. The other big things are that Negan is free. Negan is drinking water by the lake, or washing his face or whatever, and Brandon comes out of nowhere. And Brandon we don't really know why Brandon was there. He just you're fast. And then we don't know if Brandon's there to hunt him down and bring him back, but it turns out that he's there and he's trying to help Negan. And he turns out he's the one that's infatuated with Negan. He admires Negan. He's all about Negan. And we find out that Brandon's dad was a savior. So Brandon was a savior. And the savior was a little kid at the time. And he was told stories about Negan, the leather jacket, and how he was. So then Brandon thinks that he wants to help Negan rebuild the sanctuary and start things up again. But it's definitely one of those weird things. He's weird. Brandon is weird. He has an infatuation with Negan. He makes a new Lucille. He also brings Negan's original leather jacket. So that's pretty cool. Negan hears a lady scream. He saves the day. And Brandon's like, yeah, classic Negan. He's just crazy. It's just weird how he is. And then it's Amelia, I think her name is, and Milo. We don't even get her name, but I believe their name is that. So it's a girl, a woman, and her son. And Negan's there to help them and try to help them be on there too. So it's one of those things where he tries to help the kids, and Brandon's like, so what are we going to do? We're going to follow them, right? We're going to take them out, right? We're going to take their stuff. And Negan's like, no, they're kids, he got a kid and a mom. What are you talking about? It's just, and you show that Negan is not this crazy weird guy like Brandon is. Michelle, you can check out the book series on Amazon. I believe I have, if you go in the description of this video, it says Fight For Us books on our Amazon store, and it's Amazon.com, shop the PT channel, and you can go there and pick out the books there too. So some of them have the link to the Kindle. You can click on that, and it has the paperback and the Kindle, whatever you have on there too. So it's a thing where it's pretty crazy to think that you can check out all 10 books. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Frico Rico, he definitely is for sure. But Brandon is not a nice guy there too. So yeah. Well, Clark, I'm not even going to answer that too, but thanks. But I know what I'm doing here. And you're thinking I'm blocking people. No, I'm blocking the haters. That's what it is. So immature, so you just insulted all these people that are immature. You called all these people immature. That's an immature comment. Don't be that way, dude. Be better than that, bro. Be better than that, Clark. Clark, you serious, Clark? But either way, Negan and Brandon, it's a weird, dicey situation. And they come across the border of the Whispers. We see alpha, we see beta, we see gamma. And they also, it's kind of crazy. It's pretty interesting that beta doesn't like gamma, but gamma is told by alpha to dam the creek or the water or whatever it is with walkers. She's also cutting them open. She's cutting the guts open and flipping them over so the blood and the guts and the bacteria and everything go into the water supply. The big thing with that is that it's a small little line. Dante is talking to Sadiq over the radio, and he says that Rosita caught a bug, meaning that she's sick, that she's not feeling well, or she literally caught a bug, maybe a grasshopper. No, but I think it means she's sick. So I'm going to make a video about it, probably for tomorrow. Maybe today, probably tomorrow. But it's interesting that they slide that in there. It could have super ramifications for these characters, for the show, for the story arc, but it's a small little line. It's interesting. Now, it's crazy that Gamma's in there in the water, killing walkers and flipping them over, or guardians, they should say, right, which is pretty cool. And you see Aaron by himself swinging his sword around by the border and just by himself. But what is he doing? Why is he there? And he randomly comes across Gamma. Or does he know where they're supposed to be or something, right? Why is he there? We don't really find out. But he sees Gamma, and he hides, and Gamma doesn't see him. But he kind of stays there. Gamma goes back to get another guardian, and there's this whole big confrontation with the Whisper and Alpha. And Alpha is the Alpha, and you don't talk back or bring up any suggestions to Alpha about anything, evidently, because Alpha takes him out. You're like, poof, poof, done, see ya. And you're like, okay, that dude should not have said anything, right? You're like, okay, don't mess with Alpha. So Alpha tells Gamma, keep doing it, whatever. She goes back to the border, but Gamma is struggling. Gamma is stabbing this walker a bunch of times, and she has images and flashbacks of her sister, of Alpha being anointed Gamma. And it's like, man, it's kind of crazy too. So it's like, man, so she does that, and she's feverishly stabbing, and then boom, she cuts her hand, and she's like, oh, that's bad. It's terrible. She cut her hand with the knife she was stabbing the walker with several times, by the way. So wouldn't she be infected? Or maybe she has to get bit or what? So is that a plot hole? We'll have to see. So we don't know yet. But she goes that, and Aaron is there. And he's like, oh, okay. And it's kind of like when you first meet Aaron with Sasha and Maggie. And you're like, okay, no, I'm coming peace, And he throws bandages to her. And he's really nice. And we find out that Aaron is from Vermont. And then Gamma runs away. And, she bandaged her hand up. And then she goes back and talks to Alpha. And Alpha says, they say he's the man with the metal arm. And it's cool because that's a pretty cool nickname. But I don't know what's going to happen with him. Alpha might have a plan to try to make Aaron join the Whispers, or say something that, try to do something big. Because I definitely think that Gamma doesn't really buy into the Whispers. And my question to you is that maybe you're a Whisper, right? Maybe you're a low-level Whisper, or you're in between, something, and this group came along, they killed all your people, and you joined them. And you're like, all right, what else are we going to do? We don't know any other people. Where are these other communities? But you know about Alexandria, and you know about Hilltop now, right? Why wouldn't you just go to them and be like, look, we're here. We don't want to stay with these weirdos. We're tired of eating raw food, and this is terrible. I'm sick. I'm whatever. I would leave. I'd be like, man, I'm going to Alexandria. I'm out, man. It's kind of crazy. I'm out of here. Because I doubt everyone that's a Whisper wants to be a Whisper and, has the Whisper away. That's what they're trying to be, too. So, I don't know. It's pretty cool stuff. Negan takes out Brandon because Brandon kills the little boy and his mom. And there's a cool little conversation, a nice little conversation with Negan and Milo. And because he's like playing with the plane, and he's talking about a plane. He's like, you don't know anything about airplanes, do you? Or anything about the way of life, because you were born into this. So this kid doesn't know anything about anything, right? Because he knows the zombie apocalypse. And he talks about the game called nut tapping. I guess I'll explain it for the sake of the thing, but it's a game that some guys play where you smack the friend or person in the nuts with your hand, and it's called nut tapping. And it's definitely a thing that a lot of people have played, in high school and college and whatever, on there too. And I don't know. But he's talking about that. And Negan goes to get firewood and comes back, and Brandon killed Amelia and Milo. I believe her name's Amelia, but either the woman and her son. And Negan drops the wood and he's like, whatever. And Brandon's like, I knew it was a test. This was a test, right? It was one of those things where you told me to go away and I passed the test, right? I am. And he's going to say Negan, and Negan smacks him with a rock and it just takes him out. And you're like, wow, this dude's crazy, right? It's kind of crazy for what it is. So, oh man, Clark, you're hilarious. Thank you for the input. It's great. So if I had to listen to all the people who said about my books, I should have just stopped writing. I should just not have a book series. I should not do it on there too, right? I should not do anything for it. So when someone says, stop doing it, your book's this, your book's doing that, it's not good writing, it's on this, I should just listen to them, right? No, I basically want to improve that. I want to say, I've improved that. I've taken the time to edit it. I've taken the time to improve my writing. I've taken the time to just expand things and have better details and try to have a better visual when you're reading it so you can actually picture it. And Clark, if you have not read the books, please do not talk about them. And it sounds like you have not read whatsoever. So please stop talking about it and we'll have no problem. Or you can keep going, pushing it, and you can see you later. So don't know what the problem is with that, but people love to hate on everything there is. It's hilarious. People are just trying to hate on there too. So it's just one of those things that, sorry guys, Clark, Well, I guess the group that I'm gonna end Clark's thing here. I'm becoming known as a blocker and people are laughing at you. Well, that's fine. I guess they're all laughing together because they ain't laughing at me because I don't hear their comments, and that's good. So bye-bye, Clark, and the rest of the people laughing at me too. And it makes no difference if people are going to laugh at me too. They're going to laugh at something there too that makes no difference to me whatsoever. I am here for the Walking Dead family. I am here for my fighters. I am people that fight for me. If people want to laugh at me, good luck with that. Or go start your own thing and do your own thing. Just go complain together in your little trail or whatever and have fun. See you later, guys. So that's hilarious. But either way, so let's get back on track. And we said all that thing about this, about that. The Connie Daryl situation. There's definitely something hinting at them too. So, yeah, Clark's gone, guys. He's see you later. Arrivederci. But Connie and Daryl are definitely hinting at some things. So there's a problem with Magna, and I guess Kelly. They stole supplies from the hilltop. A crate of fish and some medical supplies, and they have it somewhere in the woods, right? So I don't know why Magna is doing that. I guess she feels like she has her own stash, her secret stash, and do all that. But she's really going against the group. It's going against things on there too. And Connie sticks up for her group and Magna, which is kind of what Connie should do. That's her family. And Daryl understands that. But Connie also sees that Daryl is her family too. And Daryl and Connie, there's some sort of connection there. I don't know if it's going to be a love interest. I don't know if it's going to be just a fun thing or if it's going to be kind of a Carol-Daryl scenario where they care about each other but nothing happens. But there is a funny thing that I shared on Facebook and a bunch of places that you can see the story that Daryl tells Connie about Merle and the stolen boat. And Daryl saves Merle, and Merle is drinking and fishing, and he falls in the lake. And it's a funny story. Daryl says it to Connie to make her feel better because Connie's worried about Kelly, which is understandable. But Connie and Daryl have a bonding moment. They hold hands, and it's a nice moment. And I personally wouldn't mind, and I think that they can have a romance. But if Daryl had a romance with whoever, would that person be in danger of dying? Because we know Daryl ain't dying. Daryl is the man. He is the face of the Walking Dead. Daryl, Carol, Michonne are the people on the posters, and you can't have that happen unless Daryl ain't going to die. I just don't think that can happen there too, right? It's just kind of crazy. So Daryl is a thing that should live on, but would that be the kiss of death of Connie if they got together? I don't know, but we'll have to see. There is a nice little moment there too. And also Sadiq tries to put an olive branch out to Carol and Ezekiel and have them talk. Ezekiel goes on the radio. He hears Carol coming to talk on the radio, and he turns it off, so he doesn't talk to her. Also, there's a nice little metal ornament, I guess, figure of Shiva that Henry made. He forged it there in his apprenticeship, and it's really nice. And it's one of those things where you're like, that's cool. I kind of want one of those. You'll see it on the episode, and it's a good episode. It's definitely a good episode for building blocks for a lot of things, setting things up. Lindsay Dennison, question, Bri, I wonder if Gamma will get word about her nephew. Will she then want to do everything and anything to protect him? Yes, I guess that's a good question. As the baby that was born, the baby that was left at Hilltop, that should be somewhere at Hilltop still. I don't know. That's a great point. Also, I think Gamma is going to be the person that helps our group out. She may warn them of the attack when the Whisperers attack Hilltop and or Alexandria, but I would assume they do, and there's some stuff coming around with Beta and stuff that's going to happen down the road, potentially with Beta leading the Whispers and the Walkers towards Hilltop, and there's a lot of pictures going around. We shared it in a bunch of videos, and there's some information that is going around too of, the attack on Hilltop and Alexandria. Well, I guess Hilltop, and I guess Alexandria for sure, because we haven't heard of the big Walker horde being released yet, but it's been smaller little things, and the Whispers are definitely involved. Alpha confirms the tree, the Walkers, the water, the border, it will crush them. And it's definitely one of those things that Alpha is involved, and that is her strategy. Because she feels like her strategy is to wear them down, freak them out, scare them. It's one of those things that she thinks and probably hopes that her daughter will come back to her. But how would she explain that, right? She wants the people from Alexandria and Hilltop to join them. The smart ones will come join them is her plan. But she lied. She said that she killed Lydia. It comes up again. Gamma brings it up, like, you made the ultimate sacrifice where you killed your daughter, basically. She doesn't say that, but I would assume she's talking about. And you're like, wow. So when Lydia is seen again, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with that? And I wonder if Negan's going to spill the beans. Because at the end of the episode, Negan goes into the border with his new Lucille, his leather jacket. He starts killing walkers. The Whisperers come around. Beta throws him down. He's like, all right, let's do this. It's pretty awesome. And then that's the end of the episode. So I haven't been able to see the preview or the trailer for season 10, episode 6 yet, but I'm excited to talk about that when I watch it and check it out. I'm excited for you guys to watch tonight's episode, but it's a good one, that's for sure. Rico Q&A, do you think Negan will kill Beta? I think Negan will kill Alpha, and I do think that Beta is eventually going to have to go down by probably Negan and somebody else, because Negan's a beast, but so is Beta. And Beta survived falling down an elevator shaft. What's going to happen when there is no elevator shaft around? He's going to need some help. So I would be pretty cool if it was Aaron, Negan, and Daryl who fought Beta, and it would be pretty awesome too. So I believe Clark is blocked, guys. I know some people are saying that too. So I know he's blocked. He should not be able to say anything too. He should be too. So thank you, Kelly. Your books are amazing. Thank you. See, I'm glad. I appreciate that too. And that's why I write the book series too. If there were no positive reviews or no positive aspects or nobody said anything nice about me besides like my family members, which, I want my wife to tell me what needs to be changed or what needs to be done this on there too when she reads it. And, it's just one of those things, but people do enjoy it. And I think I do enjoy telling the story of Ryan and his group of friends, family. And, it's loosely based on my friends and my family and everything there too. And it's a fictional story, it's not 100% by any means. And some personalities are that too, but it means a lot to me when people enjoy it because I enjoy writing it and it's cathartic on there too. But I just come to the realization that people are going to hate on it. People hate on The Walking Dead, right? It has a major production, Good CGI most of the time, the deer and stuff. But, I still love the show. Even when I have a video talking about some mistakes coming up. I'll probably post it tomorrow. But I still love the show unconditionally. It's one of those great things, right? Too, as well. So I definitely enjoy talking about all that stuff. And, The Walking Dead is a major production. It costs them millions and millions and millions of dollars for each episode. Production, cast, crew, CGI, budgets, just environment, everything, writing, all that stuff too. And it's a great production. Not every episode's great, but it's a good thing. And people hate on that. I'm an not immature. I am an amateur, sorry, an amateur writer, storyteller. I'm learning as I go. I'm learning as I do things, but I just think I paint a picture that shows it there too. And the writing and the editing is definitely going to be there too. And I've had people talk about it. But you know what? If you're reading the story, definitely I have a way of incorporating that in the story that's going to make sense. The story's in a zombie apocalypse, right? And somebody is writing it in the zombie apocalypse. They're not always going to have spell check. They're not going to have the best editing there too. So things are going to happen in the story that is being written of a zombie apocalypse in the zombie apocalypse. So, come on, cut it some slack, read it, support it. Don't say anything bad about it if you haven't read it on there as well. I got people that are reading the first 3 books and they're like, well, it's not good. It's not this on there too. That's all right. You don't have to there too. Thanks for the try, the apply. But I do have a lot of people that enjoy it. So I'm going to keep it going. And I think the story can continue on in a major, major way. It's pretty awesome too. So I appreciate it, guys. So that's my hour. I appreciate it for you guys being here. I'm sorry that I missed you guys last Sunday. Last Sunday, I was in Oregon. And now I'm back in Florida. And it's awesome, too. So it's pretty cool. It's interesting there, too, that I'm excited for the future of The Walking Dead. We have episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then and then it's going to be on break. But episode 5 is tonight. I'm excited for you guys to watch it. I'll have my review of it later today, and then I'll have, Talking Dead. I'll talk about something. I'm Talking Dead. Hopefully you guys will watch that. I'll have my review later tonight, and then I'll have my other stuff going on. I'm excited to talk about a bunch of things coming up. I have more videos this upcoming week, and I'm back to normal. So I missed you guys. Sorry I wasn't here, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here as always. Hectorito, my man Hector, how do you think they're going to write Michonne off? So this will be the last thing I'm going to say before I'm out of here. I think that Michonne will meet someone named Virgil. Well, I think we'll meet someone of a new character. And I think that it's going to do that. There's going to be some intel that Michonne's going to get about Rick's whereabouts, where she can go to find Rick. She's going to get some good intel. Maybe Virgil takes Michonne to the community. Maybe he escaped. Maybe his family's there. And I believe that Virgil will go with Michonne to help find Rick. I don't know why she would just leave Judith like that, but maybe they have to go. Maybe there's something that happens. Maybe stuff gets crazy and she gets on a boat and she sails. I think they write her off the show by literally sailing off into the sunset to go find Rick. Then she gets reunited with Rick in the movies. People are excited because we have Rick and Michonne. Michonne comes back around and happens there. And I just hope it happens. That's what I think is the best thing about it. That would be the way I write it, is that Michonne gets reunited with Rick somehow, shape, or form in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. That is not landlocked, by the way. Philadelphia is on the water, the Delaware River, so she can sail up the Atlantic Ocean into the river and be right there around Philadelphia, which is right on the water there too. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Those trolls, haters gonna hate. Happens every time. Did not miss that one so much. So thank you guys for being here. Enjoyed tonight's episode. Enjoyed Talking Dead. I'll have my review and stuff tonight and some bunch of videos coming up this week. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, blocking those haters, staying true to yourself, and see you guys. See ya.